Okay. Oh, shoot. Hold on here. Got my music still playing. Sorry. I do not own that. Um, oh man, I think it's time to shut her down here. I'm trying to get as many videos as I can in, but I'm starting to make errors. So, anyway, this is the spirituality reading for the Gemini for the time period over the holidays here. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that. I'm going to get into things. I have a planetary card I read at the end to kind of give an overall general energy that you might be receiving universally. And I have an Isis card here that is above and beyond. Those that are tapped into the abilities will be able to tap into that energy. So over and above assistance. So I'm going to read from the book on that one. So the card we get for you for Gemini for their spirituality is the Portal of Light. Just give me a minute here. Somehow I gummed up my Portal of Light glides on wings through time and space. Man, this came in for another reading. I did shuffle. I did. But nonetheless, we're going to read her. She was in the last reading here. That was for Aquarius. So you may be a cusper, or you may have Aquarius in your chart somewhere here. You may need to look at the Aquarius reading as well. Check out some insight there. Okay, the Portal of Light, Pyramid. Sorry. The physical reality that is bound by time and space, it's only that. You are a being conscious on levels beyond the physical world. You're guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space and to allow your sense of self to expand. It is safe for you to do this now, and you will not become ungrounded through such spiritual growth. You are not leaving your earthly awareness. You are instead adding to it. So you're growing in power and awareness is really what's coming out here. You may have had a breakthrough insights where you realize that you are not who you thought you were. You are, in fact, a much vaster being. Sometimes this was shocking and uncomfortable and difficult to accept. At other times, it was gentle and made much sense to you. You're learning to integrate this awareness of your vast self into your life. The practical consequences of doing so are extraordinary. To live with less and less fear and insecurity, to become more detached and more passionate. I swear to God, this detached word, like, why do they want us to be more detached? I don't understand. But anyway, it's like it's the wrong word there. But nonetheless, I'm reading as the book. Become more detached and more passionate, more loving and less demanding. To need less, receive more, to feel more joy, exert less force to attain it. Such wonderful gifts await you. So really we are ascending here is what I'm getting. The Gemini is ascending, maybe shocking what they're coming across here. Some realizations here in gift-wise, ability-wise, intuition-wise, healing came up quite highly there. As we may be rising in our healing gifts here, and we're being prompted, given the gifts, we're being prompted to go outward and help others with them. So that is the overall energy here. Keep in mind. In the background here, it'll help you out in order to make decisions forward. So the first card on the pyramid is 5, 6, 7, 8 of fire. This is about change, movement, motion, action, taking action. I feel like this is highlighted. We may be in an area here where we feel the need to take action, but we're not quite sure of ourselves, is what I'm getting. Next card is 15, the Devil card. Now, this is interesting because this is like the shadow energy. Now, if we are evolving, again, we have energies that we are expanding on. there's also negative energies that will expand on you as well. So having to deal with that aspect, sorry, my words, it's been a long day. Having to deal with that aspect of yourself, within yourself and outside of yourself. You may be mirroring, maybe attracting mirrors here in order to deal with that self inside of you, outside of you. Meaning there may be people outside of you that are reflecting back to you things that you carry within yourself that need to go. Next card, protect the wild and green. This is kind of my wild card in this deck. Just give me a minute. I feel like the wild and green here is the pureness of thought, the pureness of ability, the pureness, the innocence, right? Green with envy. This may be our problem, okay? This may be the shadow side of us. We may be envious or have a sense of jealousy of those around us. And this is maybe something at this time we're needing to deal with. Maybe envious of people outside of us that have abilities, or we want to take action in the way either they take action or they're feeling invalid somehow. And the universe is going, we are valid. We just have to quit comparing ourselves to others. The moment we do this, we will gain more progress. If we keep comparing, we're just going to kind of not get anywhere in that energy. It kind of swirls us down. That's the negative vibe that's hinging here. We need to go outward in our own strengths and compare less to how others are doing and how we measure up to them or don't. That is really what I'm getting here. Stay pure to who you are and stay on your path, and don't monitor, don't judge, don't be envious, and don't be jealous. Like I'm saying, don't be, that sounds awkward, but resist that if you can. Because that's really the devil, the shadow side rearing its head here that they're trying to clear out. Next card we have is the Five of Water. Five of Water is about changes in the emotional sector here that create sadness and depression. So we may have had something happen here. Either someone let us down or we let someone down in a way that it creating great sadness. I always like to say that these little angelfish are really your guides telling you, trying to prompt you to move forward here. As long as we've dealt with our emotional center in some kind of way. Next card, Nine of Fire. I'm going to look in. I think that's Jupiter. I got to memorize these. Nine of Fire. Pluto. Logical conclusions. Inevitability. Inevitable events here. So I feel like jealousy is really the thing that, we may have had jealousy about something and it may have come to a conclusion that is kind of inevitable here. It's just, we seen it coming kind of thing, but didn't want to deal. Next card is Be Patient. Yeah. We may have had some kind of a conclusion here. Now, this is spirituality, so this could be a work, love, whatever. Wherever the energy fits, there's something that came to a conclusion here. It's quite disappointing to us, but nonetheless, we've seen it coming. We had enough knowledge to know what was going to happen here, but we just didn't want it to happen so quickly. So just an awareness of this is just hovering here. So we'll go to the next side and see what we get here. 10 of Earth. 10 of Earth. Now, in this deck, again, I'm non-traditional with the reads here. The impression I first get here is she's got a mask there she's trying to remove. So either you or somebody in this scenario here is trying to remove a mask. Look at the curiosity from behind. The deer's going, are they going to do it? Someone here is having a hard time moving their mask. They wear a mask toward others to keep them hobnobbing, is what they said. So with the right people, the right crowd, this kind of thing, this is what they're doing. They're wearing a mask in order to keep up with the Joneses, right? So the sense is that we're going to someone's going to remove a mask here in order to show, be more real in their life. Okay, the next card, we have the Elemental of Fire. That was interesting to me because this is like being careful who and what we choose to remove our mask in front of. There's a lot of candles being lit here. There's a lot of passion that we have in the way that we want to move forward. I feel like we got to be very careful in judgment of who we unmask ourselves to. This is how we feel anyway. Yeah, this is what I'm getting. It's like a slippery slope. We don't want to be, it's like a slow unveiling of this mask. We're gonna put it on here and remove it here and put it on here and maybe half here. It's like we're trying to play a game here with all of that energy in order to figure out how to go forward. Next card is Heed the Messengers. And that is about your instinct, the little bird on your shoulder telling you to do something and you should do it. Maybe telling you just to remove it, period. Don't worry about this one and that one. If they have or take offense, maybe these are not people that are meant to be in your life or, for the reality of it. We really need to question why it is we're putting a front on to the people that we're doing it for. Are we trying to gain something invalidly? Right? Or why are we being insincere? This really has to be dissected and inspected and looked at to a higher degree, because it's like we don't want to remove that mask fully because we don't want to be seen as a certain way to certain people. But again, the judgments of others should never rule our life here. We should, if we're okay with the way we're going and we're, predominantly good and true, then we should be okay. So Heed the Messengers is about the instinct and listening to instinct here. We may have our instinct not part of the mix. I think that's why we're having a hard time here removing things, because their instinct is going, just let her drop. Let her drop to the floor. You know who you are from your core. Be that person who you are from your core. And then you will find out more truly who is in your corner and who is not. And we need to go that way instead of trying so hard to please everybody. I feel this is a people pleaser, trying to not get burnt. Right? Trying to not offend people, not to, watching our step in every scenario so that we don't hit anybody in the wrong way. And though that is good in certain ways, but if we're hiding our character in order to do it, it's not good, because we need to be intrinsically who we are. So heed your messengers. That instinct is coming at you. Again, I feel we're not quite tapping in, because the instinct really wouldn't tell us to mask and unmask. They would just say, just unmask and let people they'll deal with it. You can't control that. They'll deal with it the way they want to deal. And then you deal with that reaction after, that kind of thing. So on the left side here, we have Child. Somewhere, Child is prominent. I'm going to flip another card to see what the heck's going on with that. No, the Earth blossoming. We may have children in our midst that we are, that are very, I'm losing my vocabulary here. Observant, thank you. That are seeing the way that we react, the way that we have our children looking at us and going, oh, this is the way I react. And they're going, this is not appropriate. What we're doing is not appropriate. So we need to fix that for our next generation, and also for ourselves. They're going more so for ourselves. These children are looking up to us. They're inspecting every little piece of behavior that you do, and they'll emulate it and they'll copy it, and they'll, and that's the thing. And they're going, we need to think about the children and their perspective of us as well as our own. Like, I feel like the Gemini is somewhat tapped into this. They may have been on the wrong track, trying to get on the right track. Um, and the thing is, think of a child and look it through their eyes. They got a lot of admiration, right? Adults, they're big, and it's just, I want to be like that. And I want to do that. So we want to put out the best foot forward. This is really what I'm getting. And this flowering card is really about blooming into the best possible being that we can be for ourselves and for the children. And it may be your children. You may not have children, but it may be children that you have, your sister's kids, whatever, your friends' kids. They look up to these people, and as a, what do you call that? They emulate them. So they're wanting you to think about that rather than to kind of get out of your own head and think about how children view you and how you go forward in that way. What does that create? What does that blossom, right? This kind of thing. They want you to see from that perspective. Surrender to the flow. And I feel like that is the connection to spirit. And I feel like somehow there's something wrong here with the connection that Gemini is making to spirit. And I don't know what it is. Can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's a denial, like we don't kind of want to go there for some reason or another, or if it's, we may have an ego in the mix that's kind of making it hard to see that. I don't know which it is, but hopefully we'll figure it out. Move forward here into the fate of your spirituality and that is fated. We have 7 of fire. There's a lot of energy here in this. The lotus is in a sea of black crud, and it is the prettiest thing that comes out of the darkest stuff. I feel like they're trying to say that this is kind of like the life that we've lived here. We've had a lot of dark stuff come our way, but we can flower from it. We don't have to be dark just like the rest of our past. So the sense here is we're trying to conjure up something. We're trying to be more powerful in our lives, more spiritual in our lives. And we can either feed off the darkness or we can feed off the light. And this is the sense here. We got to pick a lane, and whatever lane we go, they just want you to be loyal to that and to be honorable in that. Next card, Maiden of Air. She's curious. She's looking through like what. So there may be a curiosity one way or another. We may be curious about the dark side, or we may have been there and now are curious about the light side. Whatever it is, I feel like we're being guided, right? Those little birds are trying to kind of flutter her away from the darkness and into the light, really, is the sense I get. But there's curiosities here, no less. So where's that going to take us? Here are the ancient ones. Again, listening to, could be those that have passed. When I get the ancient ones, I get, it could be parents, that are older and wiser, or even that have passed that gave us information while they were here. May have some of that coming back, spilling back on us. For someone specific, I do get that, like a father figure having said words to them before they passed about how they could clean their life up, or how they could, and having to revisit that under a different light. Because when it was told to us, it may have been taken in a way that we disregarded it altogether. But now that they've passed, we may be taking it in a different way. Again, we may have been in darker energy and not wanting to accept that and just disregard altogether. And now we're more open to lighter energy. So we're more open to the suggestion of what was really coming from that conversation. So there's a curiosity about all things mystical and spiritual now, whether that's dark or light. This is the lane they got to pick. And I feel like we've kind of dipped our toes in each side here. It's just, where is our curiosity going to bring us? And again, I feel disconnected from spirit here. I feel like we're disconnected, so we need to get connected somehow. So that may be the curiosity of the dark side, maybe pulling us a bit here to the degree that we just don't see the light. But it's out there. We just have to be loyal to it, and we will go from there. And above and beyond that, being loyal to it really does mean being true to yourself, true to others, and genuine and honorable. The minute we fall off that path, the dark energies really do take us over. Okay, last set of 3 here. Yeah, 9 of air. What you know. This is about connection to spirit. So there's a choice here. Now, again, this is on the outer edge of the pyramid, the last corner. So it can fall off quite easily. Again, I don't feel a solid. Within your destiny, it is not the white path. We have gone off course about 15 degrees here. And we may be convinced that we are on the light, but we are not quite there yet. We got to keep going. There's more action. There's more intention needed here. It may be just to clean up our own morality, our own truth telling, our own, so that we go outward in this way. We clean up our own static in that way, not being true to ourselves and others. I feel like there's some integrity here that needs to be worked on. But nonetheless, there it is at the end of your reading. Wanting to come in, wanting to be seen, heard, whatever. Next card. Wow. 7 of Earth. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to show this close up. But we have, trying to get the glare off. Basically, there's a shark here on the bottom, and then there's turtles and dolphins on the top. And she's in the middle. And that's really the sense I get here is we're on the fence. We don't know where to go. We're curious about both sides. But there's shark in the water and dolphin. So 10 Earth, but this is water. Just give me a minute. Yeah, for the long run, because they're showing me the turtle and they're going longevity. We need to think longevity here. The devil's okay. I mean, I shouldn't be saying this, but it's like we all go through that phase of the devil's work, and all of that stuff comes into our life, and then eventually we get to a point where we mature out of that. We go, yeah, that's not doing us a good. That's just all superficial stuff. It's all just, it doesn't suffice. So we got to flip over and go up to that dolphin and say, yeah, it's about being happy. It's about being refreshed. It's about being true to who you are. All of this stuff. We don't want to be sneaking around like the sharks and biting people and, offending people and da. So taking accountability of our path forward is really what I'm getting here. Next card. Make the sacrifice. What do you think that is? Yeah, we may be feeding off some negative energy here. It may have been a habitual thing. It may have been something come and go. We fight with all our lives. We never completely cleared ourselves of it. But it's time to make a decision, pick a lane, really is what I'm getting here. And in order to do that, we really have to not indulge in that side that I think we instinctively do know where it is. We know where that line is, but we just keep dabbling in it every once in a while and thinking, oh, it's okay, right? Because if it serves us, but in the long run here, it really doesn't serve us overall. It does. We pay the price for it. We may not want to admit that, or we may be in denial of that, but we do pay the price for it. So I really see this Gemini here is really at a precipice here where they just got to pick a lane. We're either going to go light or we're going to go dark, and be true to that. And if you're wearing a mask, drop it. Don't even bother. I'm going to hear there everywhere. They're going, why? It's just going to delay the process. Go where you want to go. Go where you feel free to go. And be that way. Even if you want to go to the dark, do that unapologetically. Do that free and clear. Do that in your truth. Say, I chose the dark and that's it. I'm going. And then everybody knows you're dark. So you're going to go dark. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way. Don't hide it from certain people and try and be other things too. It's just not going to work. So if you're going to go, pick a lane and go. That's really what they're saying here. Just pick the lane and go. That's it. Somebody's struggling with that. So the planetary card to end off the reading here. Eclipse in Aquarius is about awakening. Your deeper resolve rises. 5 and 3 is 8. Yeah. Give me a minute here. There is a part of you that wants to break free. I feel the tug of the dark side pulling us. That is our past. That is. We're just not wanting to let it go because it's fun and it's this kind of thing. But is it truly served us over our time? If what have we got from da da da? This kind of thing. So it's really a sense of settling. What way are we going to settle into here? There is an awakening process happening within the Gemini. They are being illuminated to their abilities to a higher degree, and they're also being illuminated to their quirks as well. And one of them, in particular, is green with envy. We have to watch our jealousies of others within our field. If we learn how to deal with that, things will calm down quite a bit. In the meantime, you are awakening, and this is part of the process, is going and picking a lane, and that's what's going on now. The portal of light, right? It's all there for you, really. We are awakening. We're entering the portal of light. This is new abilities, new ways of being, new perspectives, all of it. So it is. I feel like the Gemini's just in resistance. They just haven't had enough of the dark, and I'll tell you, they'll come back in and show you where it's at. But again, I feel like they're tugging more to the light side, but just not willing to surrender to their intuition, really is what it is. I feel like them blocking it. Why? For personal greed or envy or things that, we won't listen to it there because it doesn't feed this, and may have ego problems here to deal with. And if that's the case, then we just deal with that and carry on. So that's interesting. That's the Gemini reading for the spirituality. So I am worn right out. I wanted to go hard here and do the Libra, all three, but I can't get it done. I'm not even, I just, blah, 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 my words aren't even coming out right. So there's going to be a bit of a break here. I have appointments in the next few days and whatnot. So I'll try and do a reading here and there and everywhere and get as much done. It's going to filter over the next 2 weeks. I'm going to finish the rest of the readings here, but I've got a lot of stuff I got to do in between time. So we'll see. When I get time, I'll come in, and there'll be no warning, no nothing. So I'll just be coming in, shooting out a reading, and then posting it, and then I'll be gone. So, yeah, I just wanted to make mention to Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff. In the new year, I will be coming into my infinity room, as I call it. That's infinity readings and reviews on Facebook. I will be in there to do healing nights and live nights. If you are interested in a healing night that's mental, emotional, or physical healing that is needed, or you or anyone else you know that could benefit of that, have a gander in there, join up. It doesn't cost you, it's free. And wait for me for February. And I'll be coming in and setting up those live nights and when I'm going to do them in there, and then we'll carry on. So if you know of anybody that could benefit from that, add them into that room. Even some of my members, if they have people that they know that would benefit from that in the new year, feel free to add them as well. And that's all I wanted to say about that. So yeah, have a safe and happy season. Take care, have fun, and be kind.